Nice. They're both
Okay,
blue.
start running.
Done.
Oh wait!
Oh.
2v1.
He's up the hill,
Playing up.
Yeah, play up. There.
Yes,
Yes. Let's go, guys. Nice place.
16.
All of you who have now done your 30 to 130 gig update, and I'm sure you're raring to play the game, but before you do, you need to make sure you got the right loadouts, however excited you are. So without further ado, like, comment and subscribe, and let's just get into the top loadouts of Season 2 Reloaded. So number 1, I'm going to be sticking with the AUG ffar, purely because the only nerfs have been a slight added recoil to the AUG and a slight ADS nerf to the ffar. So the build for the AUG is basically the same, however the ffar has some drastic changes. So the AUG build, you're going to be sticking with your agency silencer, 18.2 inch strike team, field agent foregrip. So you've got your 54 round or your 45 round drum, depending on your ADS, 45 being a lot quicker. And then your axial arms 3 times with the default reticle. That's basically your AUG. Then for your ffar, you're going to want to have your agency suppressor, your 19.5 inch task force barrel, your field agent foregrip, your 50 round mag normal, not speed mag, and then your raider stock. Basically, you want to get rid of the speed mag mainly because this nerf has made it a lot slower to ADS. The raider stock, the normal mag, that all helps to speed up your ADS, and the new barrel is mainly because they've changed all the barrels around, so make sure you have this build. Now next up is the AMAX and the ffar. This is basically because they have made the AMAX a lot more viable by nerfing the AUG. Now the AMAX build has not changed. You got your monolithic, your Zodiac barrel, your Commando foregrip, your VOK optic 3 times, and your 45 round ammo. That really has not changed at all, so make sure you got that. I'll put a quick screenshot of the build here. And then you compare that with the ffar build, which is in the previous loadout, which I'll show another screenshot of just briefly, but you can click back at the timestamps. At number 3, we have the M16 and the ffar. The M16 is now viable because of the fact they nerfed the AUG, and its recoil pattern is slightly different, being that one bullet hits, then the other 2 bullets hit in the same place. So it only moves up a little bit, compared to the recoil of the AUG that goes straight up. So it's a little bit easier to control, it looks a bit more, but actually is a low amount of recoil. The build you're going to want to use, according to Benny Central, is the agency silencer, the 15.9 inch strike team barrel, the field agent foregrip, 45 round mag, not fast mag, just 45 rounds, and the axial arms 3 times. Personally, I use the precision reticle, however you can use the default reticle, it's up to you. This is the best build, however it might change over the next coming weeks as more testing is done, but I will update you on that. But as I said, if you don't like using the AUG or the AMAX, then you can try this out. I do like it, as you can see with some of these clips here, it does the job, so make sure you give this a go. Because of how they've done the game, sniping is basically a lot more viable, and Kar98 is basically the best sniper, being the quickest and the most agile sniper, so you're going to want to use the Kar98 and the ffar as what I'd say is your primary sniper class. Your ffar build, that is the same as the other classes, however, because it's a sniper secondary, if you would like, you can change the raider stock out for a reticle. Personally, I'd use the Microflex LED if I was going to use one, but I just use the iron sights because I don't really care. Now your Kar98, it really hasn't changed again, but it's going to be your monolithic, your 27.6 Singuards barrel, tac laser, sniper scope, and the F-tac sport comb. Said it very quickly, so here's a screenshot. I'll leave it up for a few seconds just so you can take a screenshot and copy it later. Now this is very fast paced. I've got quite a few good clips with it, but as I'm sure you all know, the Kar98 is very good, and if you're not really liking using automatics or bursts, this is still very good, and it is definitely up there in the meta, so make sure you give this a go. Now if you're finding the Kar98 too fast, too difficult to use, whatever the case may be, using a slightly slower and more long range sniper like the SPR might be a better choice for you specifically. Now for you who's wondering why, it's mainly because it has the bullet velocity of an HDR, whereas it has the speed of, I'd say, an AX50, not quite a Kar98. So you're not going to be dropping as many kills as you will with the Kar98. However, you'll be having a fun game, and it's a bit easier to use because it goes a lot faster, so it's a lot more hit scan than the Kar98. So make sure you got the build on screen. Your SPR 26-inch barrel, monolithic suppressor, tac laser, Soda Zero SPR 28mm optic, and the Norma 5-round mags. This is the best build. Make sure you give this a go. It is very fun to use, trust me. I've already mentioned the fact that they nerfed the ffar, and the next most viable class is going to be the Mach 10. And a lot of people, like my friend in fact, don't actually like how slow the ffar is, and they are raring to use an SMG and they're very happy with the fact that they nerfed the ADS times. They have a better chance of being able to use an SMG over the ffar. Finally, the Mac 10 is basically the best still. It's going to have a lot quicker movement than the FAR you are used to, and you're going to want to use the build here just as an overall good build. This is probably the best build at the moment. It really hasn't changed since the Reloaded. However, as I said, more testing is being done at the moment, so it might change over the coming weeks. However, I will update a comment, for instance, if this does change, so do not worry about that. However, this is the best build at the moment, and of course pairing this with your AUG. So next up you have the AMAX, which follows on very smoothly, as it's the same Mac 10 combo if you don't really like the FAR, but the AMAX is just a beam, and if you don't like the burst of the AUG, this is a great gun, so make sure that you can use this using the build on screen once again for your Mac 10, but this is just another choice as you have a bit more choice with this update. Now last of all is one that, and I always leave this one till last because it's important to have as a good class just to leave at the bottom. This is going to be your Grau fully loaded class with your M19 Julies as your secondary. Now the reason I say this is because if you look in this clip here which I had recently, this actually does come in clutch. Having Ghost in the last zone once you've just landed in from Gulag with max ammo is actually very clutch. As you can see here, this team had no clue I was in Museum and I managed to duo wipe them and then get a solo right outside my house on the left side. This is great because none of them knew I was here because I had Ghost and I had full ammo to take on both of them. So I had multiple reloads. Now your Julies, what's great about these is the M19 with Julie actually has a very fast time to kill. I think it's actually faster than the FAR. Only issue is there's not very much range. So what's good about these is better than Cali sticks or a riot shield for instance, and you can swap it out with an FAR or a Mac 10 which you find after killing someone. But basically when you land in and you pick up this loadout, having these M19 Julies are going to do the job if you need any close range engagements where you just spam them and you'll kill very, very quickly. Make sure you run these with the attachments I've put on screen. Personally, I use the VOK 3 times for the Grau because I like to have a bit more range than the iron sights. I've kind of got put off of iron sights for long range weapons, so it's up to you. Personally, I use the VOK optic on the Grau, and then for your perks, you want to make sure that you are running Ghost. So these are basically the best loadouts at the moment. There is not too much variation, however you can pick between AUG, M16 and AMAX, Kar 98 and SPR as your primary weapons, so 5 different choices. Then as your secondaries, you basically have FAR, FAR, FFAR, FAR, Mac 10 and Mac 10. Unfortunately, at the moment, there's not enough balance for there to be more than 2 guns that you can use. However, personally, I find it quite fun to use, so make sure that you use these classes. Tell me which one you use down below in the comments, I'll be interested to know, as well as any questions. I'll try to answer as many as possible. Leave a like if you found this video helpful, and also subscribe to the channel because I really do appreciate it and it helps with the algorithm. But that is all from me. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.